Hi, how's it going, Hungerford fans? It's Martyn here. I just thought I'd give you a quick check-in and see how you're all getting on. Hopefully coming towards the end of the lockdown. And hopefully the guys are going to start training soon. Maybe even, some friendlies in July. That would be amazing. Obviously, Danny Robinson putting together a good squad, some new players that we've signed, and some returning players that he's secured as well. I'm excited to see some of them. Some of them look great signings. Obviously, some of them are not proven at this level, but I think they've all got the ability to step up. A couple of signings in the week. Kensley Maloney. Apologies if I haven't quite got the names or the names right, but he's just signed. He's an attacking midfielder. I think he's played for Bracknell, so a big step up, obviously. But I think the lad's got ability and. Yeah, looking forward to seeing him play. Obviously, big news as well. Oliver Artwell has returned. We all remember him from last season. He scored a great goal at Slough to kick off the amazing victory there. Really good to see him back, and I think he's a great prospect for the future. I think he's going to certainly be a player who can step up 2-3 leagues, maybe above us. So yeah, very excited to see him stay. Mike Jones again, another big signing, I think, and important to see that lads from last year are returning. Big part of the side. Often does a lot of work unnoticed, but he's a leader, big, strong, experienced. You just can't buy that at this level. It's great that he's signed and he's going to be around. Hopefully, we'll see some return to some goals from corners, which would be amazing. I think in his first spell at Hungerford, he scored quite a few goals from corners, and everyone seems to remember that. So who knows? Maybe a return to that. From the other players that signed in earlier weeks, obviously Callum Wilmoth was the first. Can we call him a marquee signing? For those you know Callum. He's a big character, and I think it's important to have lads like him in the dressing room too. Great for team morale. He's always a lad who's mixed with the supporters. Off the pitch as well, always good for a laugh and a joke. I think players like Callum, you just can't buy them. I think in the past we've shown that. The likes probably of, I'd say Luke Brewer, just players like that who just bring team spirit together. Other players that signed, Matt Partridge, big player, played for us before. Suffered with injuries, so may not have seen the very best of him, but I think he's great defender, and we should see good things from him. Luke Carney as well. What a signing that is. Not the biggest surprise to those of you who follow Luke on social media, but yeah, I think it's important to have a goalkeeper, and obviously don't forget Tommy Rees. He's been around for a couple of years, learning every year, getting better. He's always working hard to prove himself. I think he's always had his doubters that he's not tall enough, he's not big enough, but I think he proves his doubters wrong. And who can forget last season when he played at Chelmsford? I think he got a chance, he took it and he deserved it, and hopefully we'll get to see him in a few more games this year. James Harding, I think, again, a big signing. Lots of goals last year for Cinderford. But again, I mentioned his big step up. I think we saw that with Liam Ferdinand last year. I think he scored a similar amount of goals for Bracknell. You don't get as many chances in the National League South as you probably do in lower leagues. I think in lower leagues you probably get maybe 5-6 chances per game, but in the National League you might only get one. So it's vital you take that one rather than taking one chance in sort of 3 or 4. So. But again, I think he's a young lad. He wants to learn. He's got the right attitude. And I think that's, with all of Danny's signings so far, I think attitude is a big thing. Who are you excited to see? Comment below, which signing that Danny's made are you really excited to see play, or which returning player? Tommy Rees, obviously on the list, is as well. Dan Bailey and other players returning. So there's a few old familiar faces from last year. It's not all new signings. A couple of other new signings I don't know much about. Nuno Felix, I think he played for Chippenham. Can't really remember him playing, but no doubt some of our supporters do. Ryan Beckinsale, I think he played for Tiverton. Anwanju Smith, Slimbridge player. Kyle Toos, I think he's a Thatcham lad. Curtis Angel, I've seen play for Thatcham. Saw him in the Vars final. Good solid defender as well. Yeah, so there's, of course, George Smith. Who can forget George Smith? What a return that is. I'm so pleased that he's returned to the side. Him and Callum in centre midfield. We're taking no prisoners there, are we, really? So, yeah, good to see all these players. Really can't wait for pre-season and full training to start. As I speak, the Premier League starts in a couple of weeks. So that will be interesting itself to see. Not really looking forward to it personally. I don't think Premier League should be playing without any supporters there. It's a dangerous precedent because the next thing would be, no supporters there for those games. Why don't we shift it out to Asia? Why don't we shift it out to Africa? Why don't we shift it out to America for some games? And I think Premier League clubs should remember that the fans are the heart and soul of the club. We know that at Hungerford, and that's one of the great things about supporting Hungerford. You're not just a number on a season ticket. You're part of the club. If you don't turn up one week, people will say, "Where is he? Where is he? Where is she?" You know, we know everyone, and the players know us, and we interact, and we can chat and talk to the players, to the managers about the games, about the performances. Sometimes we're critical, but I don't think we're negatively critical. I think we've always got positive things to say, and I can't ever remember Hungerford supporters getting on any team's back, even when the opportunity was there. Then there's been a couple of performances in the last 3 or 4 years. You think, wow, we really went at the races today, but we're always behind the lads, and we never just slag them off or criticise them. I mean, it's a big thing, and I think that is, again, being part of the clubs at our level. It's part of the fabric of the club, really, and it's something Spud started. The positivity, getting the positivity back in the club, and into the football team. I think that's spread throughout the supporters, and I'm sure, listening to some of Danny's interviews, that especially the one he did with Kieran a week or so ago, it's important that that continues, and I think he's of a similar mindset to Spud there. That it's all about positive players. It's all about the right attitude of the players and getting the right players. It's no point signing a player who's going to be a bad apple. So all good things, really, all good things coming through. Yeah, so again, which player are you excited to see? Did you like the interviews with Danny and with Charlie Austin? I think Charlie mentioned a couple of things, that Hungerford's not a footballing town. He's right, but I think Danny answered that question well. Why can't we make it into footballing town where people want to come and see the club? You know, we have got local players like George Smith, like Callum. They are local lads. You will see them around the town and around the area. It's not all players coming in from miles and miles away. You have to have that at our level. We cannot just have a team from the Newbury area. It's just not possible. There's just probably not 15, 16 good enough players to reach this level. So we have to be signing players from elsewhere, getting players on loan. And it's great to see. Where else can you going to spot someone like Big Mickey Safehands, he's gone back to Germany, but playing in the National League. A couple of Bristol Rovers lads as well I've seen playing in the Football League itself. So yeah, it's the only place you're going to see that is clubs at our level, and you never know. One of these lads on this list in 4 or 5 years' time may be playing for a big side. You know, a big side in the Championship, even the Premier League. I wouldn't put it past a couple of them. So yeah, all good to see. I don't know. This is my first time doing this. I've got lockdown hair. This is why I got a hat. I hope you find it all right. I'll try and do one a couple of times a week, maybe, or a couple of times a week. It's a bit too much. A couple of times a month, just to keep in touch. Hope you're all doing well. Questions, comments below, especially on the new signings. Which signings you want to see? Which is the signing that most excited you? For me, it was all right. Well, to see him come back, it was fantastic. So, which signing are you most excited to see? Another thing I hope to do going forward is to interview some of the older players who used to play for us. Got a couple in mind already myself, but would you like us to reach out as a club and contact one of them, and we can have a chat, sit down, have a chat with them, ask them some questions. I'm sure we all have our favourite former players. Again, another idea. What do you think on that? How did you get on in the quiz as well? I think we put out a quiz last week. Some easy questions and some toughies. Hope you all enjoyed it or trying to take part. Try to do it so you can Google the questions. No one likes a quiz, you can just Google. Yeah. Anyway, guys, Crusaders all the way. I hope you enjoyed it, catching up, having a chat, and let us know on the signings. I'm excited. Hope you are too. Thanks. Bye.